They're fun to watch. They're special. You know.
Are they fun to watch?
Well, on Saturday they might not be fun to watch, but yeah, if you appreciate football, I mean, they're a team that they play hard. They're extremely talented, but man, they play hard to the whistle every single play, and that's I think what makes them special.
How are you kind of preparing the offense for 80,000 people and what's going to probably be allowed?
We have music pumped in just like everybody else does, and that made it fun today, But you just try to continue. We still have a lot of work to do, so we're just still focusing on us, just executing our plays, where everyone's going the right way and staying on sides, and with the sound that'll be more interesting, So we're still just focused on us, but we're aware of what we're going into.
Do you put it like right behind AJ so that he would maybe get used to?
No, it's the entire dome rocking today. So it was every speaker in that place was going. So it was everywhere. It was in everyone's ear.
So when you look at their front seven, you say, "Oh my God, how am I going to attack these guys?"
Yeah, I mean they're unbelievably talented. They're gap sound. They play hard. You put the kids in the best situations possible, and they remind me a lot of the front of Florida State last year. That we played. I think they got 6 seniors that rotate through there, so even when you get to the backups, it's another senior that's played a ton of football. So just got to try to continue to do what we do and try to win blocks here and there.
What do we expect out of AJ this week? I mean, second game starting, but Death Valley, different environment.
Yeah, hopefully he stays within himself. I mean, that's kind of his strength. He just kind of plays ball. I need him to play better. Last week, second half, he didn't play, but mentally he didn't play very well. I mean, his numbers turned out okay, and he was efficient with the football, but some of his decisions weren't good. It put us in a couple drives that he himself made a couple decisions that put us out of scoring. Out of the scoring zone. So, and that's all he remembers is those plays. So he's got the right mindset. It'll be a heck of a challenge for him.
Will you have to lean more on sideline signals? Will AJ more of an emphasis be put on AJ with hand signals and making sure everyone can kind of just make sure they're lining up going at the right point?
Not really. Luckily for the way our offensive system works, the way it's set up, it's all done that way anyway. So for that kind of environment, for the environment we're going into, it's definitely it fits what we do because it's all signaled that way.
How about a silent count? Is that something you've done in the past?
We've done it before.
Okay. Has AJ done it before? Is that going to be new for him?
He's done it before, and we've done it. We did it during camp. We did it Notre Dame week because that's always MetLife's really loud, and so it's nothing new. But that is definitely a new wrinkle. That will be new this week that we didn't do last week.
Knowing that this might be the last time you guys play a ranked opponent on a national scale, does that get you a little more excited, make you a little more hungry?
Anytime you have a chance to play a team like this, our guys are fired up. When you get to play the best, we played a lot of great teams, and this is another one. And defensively, they're probably the most talented we faced. So we're up for a big challenge, and the kids are excited about it.
If Austin's healthy, is he getting snaps at quarterback, or is this AJ's team?
Right now, Austin has not. He hasn't been practicing right now. We're expecting him back soon. It's a day-to-day thing, and as soon as he gets back, we'll definitely get him back in the fold. Right now, we haven't had to make that decision.
Vic Beasley, what do you see?
Well, he's a talented guy. He's fast. I mean, he is fast. Especially he comes off the ball there. He's always the first one to move, including the offensive guys. And they know the snap count. So he's got an amazing trigger off the line of scrimmage, which gives him the step, and then he's got a great bend around the corner. So he's definitely something you got to know where he's at. But if you put too much attention on him, then 50 and 93 will be coming from the other side. So
okay, so AJ's only played like a game and a half. Yet there seems to be a buzz about him in the community. Do you sense that, or are people expecting too much from him?
Yeah, he's a true freshman. I was so upset with him after the game because I only remember those 4 plays that I told him to do something different, and he didn't. And and then I looked at his numbers and I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive for 22 of 32. I think he had 2 drops and he threw 2 away. So all in all, as a true freshman, he's way above the curve, considering who he's played against. And so he's doing a great job, But at the same time, you got to be realistic that he's got a lot of people banged up around him, and he's doing the best to survive every play.
Another thing people talk about is the chemistry he seems to have with Ishmael. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, Ish has done a great job. Ish is it's one of those things that I'm really in all the quarterbacks here about taking shots when you get them. And he, first 2 games we've had a couple opportunities. It's always been Ish. A couple of them been Jared. You know, I'm just trying to continue to coach quarterbacks to take your shots when they give them to you, not when I call them. And he's done a really good job of that, of taking chances on plays that I don't always have it designed to take a chance. But if he sees a one-on-one matchup, he's not afraid to take it. And Ish is great in a one-on-one matchup.
What has Steve done differently in the offense and or generally to free him?
We've thrown him more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line. We I don't know how many opportunities he got in a one-on-one matchup before that. You know, I know he had one against Notre Dame. He got pushed out of bounds. He had one at Notre Dame. He got manhandled at the line of scrimmage. You know, so he is winning at the line of scrimmage better. He's getting better. Coach McDonald's doing an unbelievable job of helping him get off the line. Because once he gets off the line, you know, he's pretty dynamic when it comes to finding a way to catch the ball. No matter anywhere in his area code, he fights for it. But so he has gotten better getting off the line. I think that's helped him.
What is it tangibly physically was doing to free himself? Jarrell was saying he makes more of his speed than he actually has.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's the fastest. I don't know what his times are. You know, he's just done a good job with his hands at the line of scrimmage, keeping the defender's hands off of him. You know, he was showing his chest a lot and letting people get into his body. Coach McDonald has his shoulders down better, so there's less surface area to punch. You know, and he's here working. He works. He's out there by himself on the field working out. He's a tireless worker. And I think it was the other day. I don't know what time it was. I was up in the office and he was out on the field, you know, doing ladder drills and stuff by himself. I didn't know he was out there, you know. So he's been working and he's been showing on Saturday.
What are some of those things that you're doing out there?
I haven't been out there with him. He's just doing drills. He's got a ladder. I guess he comes in, he's all sweaty, so he's doing something. He's just working on drills. He loves to play ball, you know. So.
Does he say anything to you when he goes by? You see him?
Oh, he's just working on what him and Coach McDonald, they have a routine that they do in practice, and he just does it more afterwards.
So you were in your office and you saw him out there, or he just came back in?
No, long story boring. I was in my office doing game plan at 11:30 at night, and I looked outside and I saw Ish out the little window, and then I saw I don't know how I should say this, I saw a DPS officer behind him. I was like, oh my God, what happened to Ish? And the DPS officer was like, listen, he wants to get in the building to shower. I just need someone to say he's okay to be in the building. And I'm kind of like, well, Ish, what were you doing? He's like, I was out on the field doing, you know, I was like, yes, Mr. Wright, he can shower. It's his locker room. I mean, he's got the cleats on and everything, but it was good. He was doing his job. The officer was doing his job. He was just making sure it was all right to open the doors to let Ish back in because he was out on the field doing extra stuff.
This is before the Wake Forest game?
Yeah, I forget what. It was one of the late nights. It was last week. It was sometime last week.
Fun weekend.
Yeah, so I was just like, I saw the officer, I was like, oh no, you know, and he was just making sure it was all right to open the doors.
What'd Steve say to you afterwards?
I sat down, we just talked about it, you know, just about how he's doing and how he's adjusting to college. We just had a good talk late at night, you know.
Non-football.
Yeah, it was all
After the Florida State game, you talked about how their man coverage was really helpful for AJ. He didn't have to read certain things, whereas Wake Forest spun